Hey everybody, welcome to Savage Ink Studios. I'm your host Ink, and today's sketchbook story time is how I went from an introverted homebody to a karaoke sensation. Not a whole lot of people who know me watch this channel, but if you guys did know me, you would know. Not big on leaving the house, not big on the socializing. I've mentioned this before. I don't freaking like people. So, me going to a bar to sing in front of people that I don't know, who are also probably drunk, and more often than not, drunk dudes, giving you attention that you don't freaking want. So, how, you ask, did I end up going from staying home all the time and staying away from all of this trouble nonsense to actively going out once a week to sing in front of drunk people? I shall tell you. Alright, this story starts with my mom, who was a bartender at the time, and she had up to this point done a pretty okay job, I guess, of keeping like her super sketchy friends more or less out of her kids' lives. So if my mom took the time to introduce me to one of her buddies, my automatic assumption was that I'm probably not into the same things that they're into, but they're probably also not like a total scumbag of a person, which has changed. Like, if my mom were to introduce me to someone that she knew now, my automatic assumption would be that they're like a drug addict or just a generally distasteful person to be around, and I would actively stay away from them. But anyway, at this point in, whatever, if she introduced me to somebody, they probably weren't a terrible person. So I had gone to my mom's bar to drop money off, I think, to her or something, and she very briefly introduced me to her buddy, the DJ, who was doing karaoke there that night. I don't actually have a code name already pre-made for this. I probably should have done that before the story, huh? Um, we'll call him Steve. So she introduced me to her friend, Steve, the DJ. And I didn't have any automatic assumptions of him other than that we probably weren't going to have anything in common. However, later, after I had left the bar, he had sent me a friend request on social media, and I thought that it would probably be kind of rude not to accept it, since my mother had just, introduced us, and we, chatted for half of a second and whatever. So my social media was a lot more public back then, I guess. I was running a business, and I had a ton of people on my social media that I didn't know personally. And the more people that you have on your social media when you're running a business, the better, because it's advertisement. You post something on Facebook, and the 400 people that you don't actually know are all going to see that post. So that's the benefit of having a bunch of people that you're not particularly close to on your social media accounts. So obviously the things that he posted would show up in my feed. He did karaoke. He did DJ karaoke, obviously. So I'd see posts about that and stuff, but he would also post about his life, and for the most part, more or less, it wasn't anything of interest. However, I did note that he had what it seemed to be like a lot of friends who cared about him, a lot of people who commented on his stuff, a lot of people who interacted with his posts. And one day, while I was sitting by myself, like I do, in my home, making tacos, because who doesn't love a good taco, I came across one of his posts that had said something along the lines of, I'm really, really depressed, and I don't want to be alone right now. If anyone could just, spend some time with me, Like, I'm sorry to be, like, needy and depressed, but I kind of just need human company right now, so is anybody free? And I had seen that this post had been up for a few hours, and all of those friends that he had, or that it seemed that he had, none of them had stepped up to the plate. And, like, I understand how that is, you know, when I'm in a bad place mentally, not so much anymore because I live with someone, but it used to be that if I was going through a really tough time, I would type SOS on my social media or just send out an SOS message. And my sister, I got on the phone with my sister earlier, and I'm like, I cannot just keep on calling you my sister. We need a name. And we chatted it over, and we're going with Ivy. So my sister Ivy, or my mother, or, you know, my dad when he was still with us, they would know to, you know, call me, whichever of them was available, and they would call me and we'd set something up, and I would get out of this situation where I wasn't in a good mindset. So I had my own tactics for if I was in a bad place, there was something that I could say, and the people that loved me would reach out to me, and we'd get through it. So to see this guy who seemed to have so many friends who were willing to benefit from being his friend, yet when he needed help, when he was having a tough day, nobody was jumping to the whatever. I have a small amount of compassion within this, you know, decrepit heart of mine. I felt bad, you know? So I figured courtesy, I guess. I mean, I was really hoping that this guy was going to blow me off. But, you know, I sent him a message and I'm like, saw your post, like, I'm making tacos if you want to come over and have tacos. And boy, did this guy respond. Immediately. And he's just like, yeah, that would be awesome. That would be great. What's your address? And I'm just like, fudge. Really? Okay, well, I had offered. It's not like I could turn it down or whatever, right? So, changed my mind. Nope. So he came over and we made tacos. And we ate tacos, and we chatted, and he was actually a pretty funny dude, and just a genuinely nice guy, which, with the attitude that I have, that is not the type of person that I generally attract. I attract people who are like me, people who are assholes, much of the time. People who are over-opinionated and stubborn, and people with, you know, possibly controversial opinions. And this was not that guy. He was just so upbeat, I guess. Even in being sad, you could tell he wanted to be happy. And he had this air about him, like he would do anything for his friends, you know, you could tell. So, you know, made tacos, he left, and I'm just like, you know, this is a cool dude. And then I totally forgot about him. Like, probably did not think about him again until a couple months later when I got a message from him on Facebook. And his message was, you know, I'm really sorry to bother you, and I'm sorry that every time we talk I need something, but your mom said that you're really strong, and I messed up my leg, and I really need help with getting my karaoke equipment to the bar, and I just thought that I would ask you. And me, being hyper masculine and really, like, proud of my hyper masculine traits, I'm just like, macho man, yes, I will help you. You know, because I felt good about myself. I'm just like, yeah, I'm strong. I got you. And, 200-pound karaoke box. And I got it. Very much. And felt gosh darn good about myself, about being able to carry this. He's like, let me help you. And I'm like, no, I'm here to help you. I got it. And I did. And he was super impressed. And I was just like, that's me shining my nails on my shoulder because I'm that good. Yeah, I get cocky. It happens. And so we get there, and I help him set up his equipment. And I'm like, all right, I'm out. Call me when you need me to come back and help you pack up. And he's like, well, don't leave. That's a waste, you know? It's only a few hours. Just stay. And I'm like, I don't do bars. I don't do people. I don't do public. I don't do any of this stuff. And he's like, really, it would be a lot easier if you were here, you know, if I need to move something or something. And I promise it's not as, you know, crazy as it seems. It's not like the bar that your mom works at. It's a lot quieter. People are, you know, less much. Pretty sure that's not how he worded it, but that's how I'm going to word it, less much. My mom did not work in a savory bar. The place where he normally did karaoke was like an older people's bar. Only a handful of people would show up, and they were primarily older, calmer people who were having a few beers after they got home from work, not looking to get into legal trouble. Is basically what he was trying to, you know, explain to me. So I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't do well with people asking me to do things. I'm not very often put in a position where people want to ask me to do things. So I figured, you know, I'm already here. It's fine. He obviously is nervous or something about not having anyone to help him with his equipment. So it's fine. It's all well and dandy. I'll stay. So I stayed. And every week, once a week, every Tuesday night, I would help him with his equipment. And a few weeks into it, he's just like, you know, you should sing. And I'm like, ha, you're on crack. No, I'm not going to sing in front of these people. That's not going to happen. He's like, no, really, you're going to love it. I can't tell you how many people have come in and they've been like, no, I don't want to sing. And then they did, and then they loved it, and now they're regulars. And I'm just like, if you can't hear me, then you need to read my lips. I'm not fucking singing in front of these people. So it took a few more times, but he finally, you know, again, I don't do well with people asking me to do stuff, you know, because it's uncomfortable. I don't enjoy it. And when you can't escape the situation, you know, as long as it's not something like life-changing, you know, getting up and singing a song is not gonna ruin my life. You know, if someone offered me methamphetamines, I would tell them no. Obviously, I'm not going to get pressured into that, but I might get pressured into getting in front of people and singing. And I was. It was more or less the Tiffany situation. Like, oh my god, if I go up there and I do it once, you stop bugging me about it. And he's like, once you get up there, you're not going to want to not go up there. So, yeah. And, you know, it turns out I'm not an awful singer. I'm not great, but I'm not awful. And in comparison to most of the people there, I was a little bit above the standard of what they were used to hearing. So everyone was really excited and everyone really liked it, and people kept on asking me to go up and do different songs. People were asking me to do duets with them, and eventually it got to the point where I was just comfortable doing it. And then it got to the point where I would look forward to this every week. Like, this was my way to blow off steam, and it felt nice, which was surprising for me as much as it was for anybody else, because I didn't expect to enjoy doing this, but I really did, you know. And I had my jam, the song that I would start off with every time that I went in, and then I started pulling people into it. You know, my sister Ivy came and sang with me a couple times, and even my dad, who lived like 45 minutes away from me. I remember showing up to the bar one night, and my dad sitting in one of the bar stools, and I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing here? You know? And he was like, oh, I came to hear you sing. And of course, we had to do, you know, duet together. We had Kryptonite by Three Doors Down and Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. And it just, while it lasted, it became this thing that changed my life. It doesn't take a whole lot to make me feel good, I guess, you know, and it just takes me getting there. So, getting there and doing this thing ended up being a great surprise, and up until the bar stopped doing it, it was just a really fun experience. So, coming up on the end here, thank you guys, of course, for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed my story. I hope you enjoyed the sketches. I cut these out and made them like little stickers for my laptop. And questions, comments, don't forget to like and subscribe. As usual, feel free to leave any ideas for future videos in the comment section below. See you next time.